So my collection of movies is starting to get a little too big. And I think I'm outgrowing the shelf I have, which I think I need to create a new system, probably similar to what you have.
Yeah.
But like I remember, I went looking online and I saw that IKEA had this one setup that I thought it was brilliant. All right, and essentially it was just like it was vertical shelves, or sorry, no, horizontal shelves.
As opposed to
which is the up and down.
Up and down is vertical, left and right is horizontal.
Yeah, sorry, brain fart. They were vertical shelves.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you could do is, let's say if you just have one, you can mount it on the wall, display it. Or if you wanted to get a series of them, you can stack them.
Okay.
And I thought that was genius. I thought it was brilliant. And, of course, with my luck, they completely abolished it. They've discontinued the line.
What? IKEA didn't know.
IKEA did. Because remember, I was looking at it. It was, and it was on one of our favorite sites, Blu-ray.com. I was on the forum, and I was like, oh my God, this is genius. And they're like, yeah, they discontinued it. Why? I'm actually thinking about taking a trip out to the Kias on Saturday to see if I can spark up any ideas. I haven't outgrown it yet.
Yeah.
Because I have like it's multiple shells, but it's, once things, clear up with the Toretto virus, and there are certain movies I am missing from my collection, like Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
Yes, I haven't bought that.
Well, for me, I've been outgrown this by about 60 movies.
60 movies? Okay, well, because I do like your setup. The only issue I would have with your setup, yours is more of a width thing, because all the shelves are...
Yeah, you need to go more height. The problem is, I thought about the same situation where I was looking at the IKEAs, and the vertical one, I'm 3 inches too short. Yes. Otherwise, I would have actually had because what I was telling myself the video recently actually was I wanted to actually take this down, rebuild it in a smaller computer case.
Okay.
And then have one of the big ones go up and a small one on the side so the computer sits on the side, and then I'm just movies all the way stacked to the ceiling. Problem is, I'm just a little too short.
A little too short?
Maybe if I can, I don't know. Do you need a ceiling?
I mean, if you don't mind rain.
Oh, okay.
So you want to put that in the smaller, you want to put the computer in a smaller case?
Yeah.
Well,
can I do that? Probably. The case I'm looking at, which is almost as much as I paid for this, and it's only like...
I remember how excited you were when you got that.
I know. Oh, well, I'm going to make this my my media server soon eventually. Gotcha. I'm going to take everything out of it, put it in a smaller case, and I'm going to build the media server from the ground up because I'm looking at 100 terabytes just because why not?
So you want a smaller case. So I guess that means bigger isn't always better.
Well, you know what they say. Long to thin goes in.
And second video, monetizing. There we go. With that being said, what's going on, everybody?
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Sons of Cinema, where one of us has the face of radio and the other one has the voice for print. But both of us have a very dirty mind.
In the gutter. Oh, man.
All right, but while we're on the conversation about shelvings for our collection,
yes,
we may not have to worry about it that much longer the way things are going.
Yeah.
Perhaps you are on the right path about it by creating a media server. Because I think that's going to be the way to go. Our hard copies are going to are on the verge of becoming the way of the dinosaur.
Unfortunately, because with this situation with Disney, obviously you guys may or may not be aware of what Disney has done. They've basically announced that they're not going to be
So
with the acquisition of Fox,
language.
Searchlight Studios. Because, I don't know why.
There's Searchlight Studios and now 21st Century Studios.
Yeah, I beg my pardon, because which is which, no one knows.
One's for more edgier content.
Yeah.
And the other one's straight for DVD.
So, with that, remember, Fox actually had a lot of masters. They had a lot of... And the rumor has it, they have... 4K masters already done. Ready. All they had to do was just go stamp this to a disc.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, and Disney loves to do this, they love to create an artificial scarcity. That's why everything goes back into the Disney vault.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know Disney's notorious for that.
Well, I thought the purpose of getting Disney Plus is to open up the Disney Vault, so I no longer have to go and be like, "Yeah, please, I need to see Bambi in a better resolution."
Here's where I started talking. So what I was gonna say was, I think we discussed something like this about a while ago.
Yeah.
Because at the time it was, rumor has it,
yes,
that they were releasing it. All Disney did was now confirm it. But if
have they though?
And they've already got the 4K masters. They're not going to release those. There's no reason to do this other than to justify their Disney Plus, so that way they can put the 4K on Disney Plus, and and all they can do is wow, look at all these great 4K movies. You can only get them on Disney Plus. Because remember, they said our big focus right now is
Disney Plus.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that.
And you know what I have a feeling of? I don't
What's
know,
that?
maybe. I have a feeling that they may do what Netflix does and eventually start charging for the 4K versions.
That's entirely possible. Entirely possible.
And you know what scares me is?
What's that?
It doesn't even cost them any extra money because
I know,
the infrastructure is already there.
Yeah, trust me. That was a reality check when I bought my 4K TV all those years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I set it up and I'm playing. I'm like,
oh, folks, announcement. I actually own a 4K TV now. Because I remember it was a while ago we were talking about.
he owns a 4K TV and they just announced 8K.
Woohoo! Planned obsolescence. Here we come.
All right. So, I don't know why I just did what I just did. So, I heard you woohoo, and I'm thinking like Rockman Mosh. Yeah, let's do this. All right. So when I read this initially, and I go and I see, one thing I'm starting to notice. What's interesting about what we do.
Yes.
You and I, when we go and we look for news and like our Woku report to tell people about, and what's been
mostly you aggregate and I kind of just do everything else. Mm-hmm. Well, I show up and then after that I do the post.
Yeah, we do all the editing and I do the show setup. I get all the topics starts to talk, and I do the thumbnail, and I just try to make myself seem more important than I actually am not.
Well, you're the director and I'm just the cameraman, editor, and I need important words here, folks. Executive?
Assistant to the regional director.
Correcto.
So I began, and I'm reading this, and the source that I initially got this from was one of my favorites that I've been following for many years, ComingSoon.net.
ComingSoon.net.
So as I'm reading them, and I go and I see they're quoting slash films.
Yes.
So then when I go and I see this, and a lot of times, because we come across a lot of news stuff that comes to our lap, just recently, I went and I was like, this one site that was like, oh, what?
I already know where you go with this. Keep going.
Let's see. Okay. It was like Shia LaBeouf being considered for the role of Iceman in the MCU.
Let me know how to.
So I go and I'm looking and I'm like, huh. And I clicked the link. And I'm reading the article, and then I get to the one point. Folks, for those of you who are new to the show, or for those of you who don't know, there is a website that is called We Got This Covered.
We Got This Covered. Oh, man. If you ever go to there, don't believe a single word. If they tell you the sky is blue, don't
green. Which is all sorts of bad news for one of my friends. He's colorblind.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
So, with all that being said, they claim that they got exclusive insider source, which is essentially their uncle on a drunken tyrant. So that's one of the reasons why I gotta vent and I gotta look into these things. Well, I gotta verify that what I'm looking into is
mad at
accurate.
You.
Why are you mad at me?
Because you just remembered me when you talk about the drunken uncle. That's how I saw Fight Club for the first time.
Glossing. So then once I go and I see they're quoting slash films.
Yes.
I go and I put on my favorite trench coat, and I do my Columbo cosplaying, and I proceed to go down the rabbit hole. So I click on Slash Films, and I find the article to go and see that Slash Films is actually quoting another source called the Digital Bit. All right, and the Digital Bit what they seem to do. Their news actually focuses more around Blu-rays, movies, releases, and all that stuff. And like, oh, this guy just reviewed the steelbook of this, and I'm like, you know what? Not a bad concept. There's not a lot of sites around like that. All right, with the exception of Blu-ray.com, but Blu-ray.com, as much as I love that site, it's also a very clunky mess to get around to.
Oh yeah.
So if I'm going to a site like the Digital Bit, that's going to go and say like, hey, we checked out the Scarface Steelbook. This is what we thought.
You know what? If you think we should do the same thing, let us know in the comments down below. Because we've played around with the ideas and similar things like that. And it's something I personally would be interested in doing. But if you feel that would be a waste of time or stupid, by all means, let me know down below before we waste a lot of time and money, because Lord knows we ain't making any money on this. I think it's going to be like 6 years at the way we're going before I make enough to justify buying all these cameras.
If only someone had told you. Moving on. So I go, and this is what I got written down from the Digital Bit, saying that there are reports that Disney does not, and this is in quotes, does not have any plans for future 4K HD catalog releases apart from Disney, Pixar, Star Wars, and Marvel-related projects.
Remember when I said Fox and all of that?
All
there was a reason why I was being specific.
Which means, more than likely, for most of us that are collectors, much like Rex and myself, we, at least we still got Blu-rays. Because they didn't say they could even the kibosh on Blu-rays.
Oh, yeah. But at this point, you know what? Now that I finally bought a 4K TV, and I can justify buying the 4K special editions and all of that, because, folks, I am that whale. I am an instant collector. I see a steelbook in Best Buy. I've been to Best Buy many a time at 10 a.m. here to pick up my collector's edition. Thank you very much. Yes. And go to work. So
can confirm.
Yeah. So
we are collectors. Are you more on the steelbook front than I am?
Well, I've been a little bit less, because as long as the art is good, I'll buy it.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest arguments. That's why I think that's something we're planning in the future to talk.
Yeah, I think we're getting ready for that. I think we need to talk about that later.
Groovy.
All
right.
But maybe when I'm on vacation.
Yes, maybe. So it's something like it's definitely something I agree with you on. I feel it's something that it's a power move.
Yeah.
For them to go and say like, oh, sorry, this, but hey, you really want the 4K? Come over here.
By all means.
All right. And that way what they're going to do is that way when everyone's like, oh, the 4K, and they can go and pull some stunt where they just take it off and be like, did you want the 4K in that? Well, just so happens for a limited time out of the Disney vault.
Exactly. Because they know everyone's getting a 4K TV, because 4K TVs have dropped so dramatically in price.
Yes.
You can pick up a 4K TV from Walmart for $239.99 on the rollback prices.
Yes, that's all.
And I'm not even joking about that, folks. Sometimes it's cheaper to buy a cheap 4K TV than it is to buy a good 1080p TV. That is actually really, and a lot of people don't really care about the picture quality and all this. They go 4K, look how sharp it is. So they're getting on people like that, and with the advent of a lot of TVs having the built-in Rokus, and all they got to do is be like, look, see, we got the Disney Plus app already built in, and next thing you know, hey, you remember how it was $7.99 for the well, if you want to take advantage of this 4K TV, you might as well spend an extra $10. Like, that's more than double the price. Well, if Netflix can get away with it, why can't we?
Precisely.
You know what I'm saying?
Not for nothing. When I went to go buy my 4K TV, I was initially set on a 40-inch TV.
Yes.
I went to the PC Richards near you, actually.
Correcto.
And I walked in there, and I saw a 43-inch. About, what was it, $50, $60 more?
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at the guy, and initially, because I was talking to the guy, and we were set on the 40-inch, and then I saw the 43, and I looked at the guy. What about this one? He goes, see, here's the problem. We are currently sold out of that. You would have to go to the warehouse in Massapequa, and it just so happened at the time I was working in Massapequa.
Mm-hmm. So
I was like, sir, the stars are aligning. I'll go to Massapequa right now as we speak, and I'll pick it up. And literally, it was the place was within a mile of my job.
Yep.
Went in there, picked it up, and I went into work. I had my dad's car at the time, and my father's car had bigger storage space than what my car at the time had. So I was all giddy. I kept going looking.
You know
outside,
what?
like,
all right.
Precious
All
is
right.
in there.
You don't have to brag about the fact that your folding seats weren't an optional extra that my car does not have, and I struggled to fit my TV in my car. All right, you don't have to brag about this.
Brag about it. My TV, I have to borrow my father's car.
Oh, but still, I would have had to borrow my brother's wife's car. You know what kind of trouble that would have been? None at all. But it was the sheer principle of it. Oh man, I'm gonna love having to edit this episode.
For once, I was just. It's no longer gonna be like, damn it, DJ. It's gonna be, damn it, me.
It's gonna be past Rex. Why? Oh man.
But ain't no stopping us now for our collection, man. As long as I can secure, as long as I can go, I will continue to go.
Actually, you want to hear a fun fact about our collection that I was thinking about picking up? So, I was at Mr. Cheapo's today.
How is he?
He's doing very well.
He didn't catch Toretto, did he?
No. The problem with that is he has a significant amount of HD DVDs that I was thinking about picking up because they're only $2 a pop. And I'm like,
but I thought you had them all.
There's like 4 in there that I don't have.
That's possible.
Pretty much, I know. I didn't even know.
They found a way. Son of a bitch, they found a way.
I'm going to see if I can clip that in there.
While I contemplate my life a little more. That's our show, folks. You have anything else you want to say?
I've been Rex.
I've been DJ.
Together,
therefore, we are
the Sons of Cinema. Peace. Oh, Vader, did you want to say anything? No?
No, I'm not even.
I got nothing.
I had it before.